Welcome to Mission to Inspire, where we share life experiences in our careers, personal lives, society, culture, religion, finance, family, and much more. Meet your host, Shola Ajibade, as she takes you on a ride to fuel your inspiration.
So how did you end up back in England then?
I'll make the story very short. It's too long. So
oh my God.
What happened is that I was in Malaysia, okay?
Yes.
And I was working in Malaysia. I did 2 years in Singapore in my own clinic, right? In Singapore for 2 years, 2004, 2006, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I did that. And then somebody said, listen, Malaysia is a great country. Why don't you open a clinic there as well? So you have both clinics, you have Singapore and Malaysia.
Mm-hmm.
I said, that sounds good. So I went up and approached the Chinese and the Malaysian and the Malaysians. And they said, yeah, you're welcome. Come here. So we built a clinic. And so I did 6 years in that clinic, like there.
Okay. Yeah.
And guess what? As fate would have it, the first 2 clients in that clinic were my wife's Petrina's mother and father. The first 2 clients. They walked in.
That's how you guys met. Okay.
We met. So they walked in and I photographed their eyes. I taught them what to do, fixed Dad up, fixed Mum up. And then 6 months later, Petrina got a phone call from her mother. Said, listen, you've got to come and meet Ronald. He's an amazing guy. He said, we're worried about you. You're by your own in England. You work so hard. We're worried about you. We want somebody like Ronald to look at you and give you some advice about your life, about your future. So I went, okay. Next thing you know, Petrina lands in Malaysia. From she lived in England. Yeah. Lands in Malaysia. He came and saw me, like doctor-patient type relationship. I don't think the mother had any intention of us being pairing together. I don't think so. It was just like, I'm concerned about my daughter. I've got this physician here. He's capable. I want him to look at her, right? She'd seen what I'd done for her and her dad, her husband. So Petrina came in and introduced herself. We got on really well. There was no romance or anything. It was just like, let's look at your eyes. Okay, this is what you got to do. This is what you're eating. Do this, change that. Anyway, about 6 months later, as fate would have it, the mother came to see me and she said these words. She said, you have been an incredible man for our family. You've helped my dad. You've helped my husband. You've helped my Petrina. You've helped me. You've helped my cousins. You've helped all the other Chinese. You have got a fantastic reputation. He said, I'll tell you what we're going to do for you. We're travelers, right? We're going to offer you a bargain. I said, okay, what is that? They said, we're going on a cruise, a Mediterranean cruise. And if we get 4 people attending, we'll get 1 for free, right? So we'll pay for three, and we get one passenger free. And we want you to be that passenger. And I straight away went, how's that going to work? He said, well, it's easy. You get on with Yen Wee, that's the dad, with my husband. You get on with him. So you and him are going to be in that cabin. You're going to have your own bunks. In a cruise ship. Petrina and I will be in double bed in another cabin. I said, okay, fair enough. He said, then we'll meet for breakfast, we'll meet for lunch, we'll meet for dinner, we'll go to the gym, we'll go swimming together, whatever. So anyway, so that's what happened. So we all got on the cruise. We went out to Southampton. We all got on the cruise. And then what was funny, there was 2, this is really funny. There was 2 therapists, like massage therapists. I think they were from Burma or something. Anyway, they were trying to get us to sign for a massage course on the 10-day cruise, right? That's how they make their money, right? In other words, you go on a cruise, you're prepared to splash the money, you book 6 massages, 3 massages, whatever, right? Anyway, so they approached me first. I was there at the cruise ship. They approached me and they said, we'd like to offer you a massage at that price. And I thought, that's a bit expensive, you know. I mean, I knew about massages from Thailand, and I knew about it. I said, but it's a cruise price. He said, why don't you do it? You know, you're on a cruise, you can get unwound, you can, you know, do the gym, and then we can take care of you. I said to myself, okay, I'm on a cruise, why not? So I said, okay, so I'll consider. So I'm off to the toilet now. I've got to go to the toilet before I get on the cruise. Petrina gets approached by them, right? And they'd seen Petrina talk to me. And guess what they said to Petrina? Your husband's a good-looking man. We weren't married at all. They said, your husband's a good-looking man, isn't he? And Petrina said, we're not married. We're just acquaintances. Well, they said, well, we thought he was your husband. You see? And we thought, okay. And then she had a laugh. So she said, this is what happened. He said, they thought you were my husband. I said, not at this stage. Anyway, we got on. And then the first day we were there, I said, listen, I'm going to go to the gym 3 o'clock this afternoon. We've had breakfast, we've had lunch. We need to get strong. So there's a gym on board. I start training on weight training. I do weight training. And I taught her the sit-ups, bench presses, arm curls. I've been highly trained. I did all that. And she liked it. And then the mother, after about 6 days, she said, can you train me as well? So at 3 o'clock, every Monday, Tuesday, when they're on the cruise, I'd train them. I'd train between them. I'd train them on different benches. I said, right, this weight, you do that weight. So the mother got fitter as well. And then, as fate would have it, unbelievable. On the 7th night, I'll tell you what, I could write a book about it. On the 7th night, I'm on the internet on the 8th floor.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of nowhere, in the ocean near Russia, Switzerland. We're in the middle of nowhere. And we hear this bang. It was pitch dark. Bang, a big bang of the ship. I went, oh my God, we're being attacked. Or we've hit a whale or something. It was that bad. The ship shook. Right? So everybody was panicking, but not me. I thought, no, I got my torch. I got my radiology torch, pitch dark. I went down to the 4th floor where the administration was. And so there was everybody's milling around there. They got out of their bed. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. And they said, what's happening? What's happening? We've been attacked or what? They said, no. It's the generator, the main generator blew up. That's what made the noise. It blew up, and that's why the noise is so loud. It worked the whole ship, right? And said, don't worry, the French engineers are coming the next day to fix it, right? So guess what? All of a sudden, we didn't realize it. When that engine cuts, no lifts, no food, no toilets, nothing, because everything relies on the engine to work.
Right, okay.
No toilets, no shower, right? The food went down to bread and cheese. We were having smorgasbord one day, 2 days. Now we're having bread and cheese, cheap cheese. That was the reserves. We couldn't even get to the port, right? So that's when I saw the character of people. That's when I saw it. You know, when things were swimmingly along, they were like smiling, laughing. There was 4,000 people on that ship. 1,000 were cripples. That some were Norwegian soldiers that lost their leg. They were on the 9th floor, right? 9th floor. And the next day, the next generator broke down. We were gone. We had no toilet for 3 days. 3 days, 2 to 3 days, right? So people were getting really nasty, you know. And I thought, what's the point? I said, it's not the staff of the ship, you know. It could happen to anyone. So we were in the same toilet for 3 days. Can you imagine that? You know, it was like just like wow, you know. Anyway, cut long story short, the Swedish Navy comes out to help us. The Danish Navy comes out. So we got to take out 4,000 people down to the deck, down to below, and then transfer by ship to the battleships, the Danish Navy. Nice. You know, imagine that, 4,000 people. Now, guess what? The 1,000 people at the top, they're crippled. They could take the lift, but there's no lifts. Guess what? The Filipino people on board, they're quite strong, but they're small.
Yeah. And
me and a couple of other volunteers, we took these 1,000 men as a group, and we took them in one by one down the stairs. Imagine going from the 9th floor to the ground floor and beyond.
Ground floor. Oh my God. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
wheelchairs. Some of those were carrying him like that on the side. A little Filipino there and me on the other side. We're carrying them now. They were weighed 200 pounds, 150 pounds, 180 pounds. So all the way down. It took 2 days. Up and down, up and down, up and down. And Petrina said, "You are so incredibly strong." He said, "I've never seen anything like it. You at your age, you're lifting people and you're taking them down." I said, "Nobody else, everybody else moaning, you're laughing." I said, "Yeah, what's the point?" I said, "What's the point of crying? These people are troubled. They can't get down on them." So I want that help. She saw my character then. She saw who I was. Right? And she did,
is that how she fell in love then?
Yeah, that's how she started. and I'll tell you something. She'd been asked to be married by all kinds of people, all kinds. Minister of the Crown, doctors. She's been asked to be married. And she'd said, "No, not interested. Not interested."
So to cut the long story short, you followed her all the way to England.
Yeah, exactly. So in the end, she made me an offer I couldn't refuse. Well, I said to myself, I said, "Well, hang on." I said, "She's a diamond. Never been married. She's a diamond. Nobody else is a diamond. No, nobody understands it, but I know she's a diamond." I said, "If I don't take care of, if I don't involve here, I will lose that diamond. I don't want to end up with somebody else that's going to bloody take all my money and run with it." I said, "I want to have someone that's responsible." And she was. And she was a chartered accountant and an auditor. Right? And you know what amazed me about Petrina? I said, "How did you end up in England?" She said, "I came here about 25 years ago with 100 pounds. That's all she had. 100 pounds. She landed here, a tourist, right? Started work as a waitress, doing all kinds of jobs, waitress, and rented from a property, rented a family, single little room. And then she eventually earned, got a background in accounting. She was doing waitressing to earn extra money, right? She had to, right? And then she became a chartered accountant, auditor, built a business with another partner, and 62 staff. I went, "This woman's clever," right? And I said also, I said, "I'm not interested in doing tax. I'm not interested." Right? It's just like this one of the. I said, "What's the point of bloody being locked in on doing figures all day long on tax? It's meaningless." But she was doing it, so I said, "I get involved with her. She can do my tax. She can do her tax, and so on." But now there comes the battle now. Because of my age and because of who I was, "Oh no, you can't stay in England. You can't stay." And I said, "Well,
who said you can't stay?"
The immigration.
Oh,
this is what they did. The British immigration. They said, "You can't stay here." So what we did, we said, "No, we're going to fight." So we applied in-house. We went to a solicitor. We went from him. No, not allowed. Another step, another solicitor, another solicitor, another solicitor. We went to a barrister in the end. And we went in front of a judge and they said, "No, not allowed." He said, I looked at them and I said, "You've got to be joking." I said, "I'm a former army officer. I got a Queen's Commission. I've been top in banking, top in my business. I could teach your people how to get healthy. And you treat me like and we were British subjects in Mauritius. We served you. And now you want me to you don't want to give me immigration status." And they were accepting all kinds of other people who had nothing like me. Nothing. So guess what? I had to go back all the way to Australia for 6 months. So we made this file about that thick, about 600 pages. This is my background. This is what I do. This is what I can do. And they said, "Well, we're going to have to take the full 6 months. And then we'll let you know. Right? So I had to spend $30,000 of my own money to get given a pass as an immigrant. I was really annoyed about that because
Mm.
he served in Vietnam with the Australian Army, nearly got killed 28 times, right? Got a Queen's Commission, top banking, top this, top that, top nutrition, and it's like they treat me like if I'm some refugee with no skills. I said, what sort of people are these? I said, they should be grabbing with open arms. But anyway, I thought, no, I want to persevere because I want to be happy with the right person. So I went back to Australia. Guess what they did to me? I had to spend $30,000 because I'd cut my ties with Australia by then. But my brother was there, my sister was there, and I went to my brother. And so there was a spare room there at his house, at his unit. I said, Brian, I said, they want me to stay here 6 months, mate. I said, I've got about 18 odd grand. I said, I'll give you the rent money. I'll cook for you. And I'm going to have to apply from here. And he said, Ronald, you're my brother. You're welcome. Right? And he said, I'll fix your car, fix your carpentry. I'll rebuild things in the show. I said, we've got tools. I got tools. I'll work for 6 months. Yeah. So anyway, so I ended up paying $30,000. And guess what? On the very last day, they got some Indian firm that was going to handle my case. Couldn't speak bloody much English. They rang me on the last day, 6 months, and they said, we've got an answer from immigration. I said, what's the answer? Guess what he said to me? The envelope from immigration is sealed. You have to come in the office tomorrow at 9 o'clock sharp, right? Because we've got a big group appointment. And he said, we're going to open the envelope then.
Oh.
So I'm sitting, and I didn't know whether it was going to be negative or positive. I didn't know. So during the night, I'm saying, what if they say negative? I'm stuck. I've lost 30 grand. I've got to restart my life again.
Oh my God.
It was like that, because it was, I had to get a positive. Right? I got there 10 to 9. He said to me 9 a.m. sharp because it's all I want. And they can tell you to buzz off if you're not there. Right? That's what they're like, right? They have this sort of attitude which is, well, you're only applying as an immigrant, so what? They didn't know my background. Right? They just, I use them as a venue. Anyway, I arrived there 10 to 9. The bloke in charge, he comes out and meets me, and I look on his desk, and there's an envelope, and it's open. It's an envelope. It's a brown envelope, and it's open. I looked at him. I said, "How come the envelope's open?" I wasn't going to take any nonsense. I said, "How come the envelope's open?" He said, "Oh, I opened it." I said, "Yesterday, when the staff rang me, they said we can't open the envelope. It's sealed. We can only open it when you're here tomorrow." I said, "How come you open the envelope?" He said, "Well, I'm the chief here." I said, "That's not what your staff told me. Your staff said they couldn't open the envelope. I want to see the real envelope." Anyway, he said, "Look," he said, then he looked at me, he said, "You got a good answer. You got a favorable answer." How do you know that? He said, I read your file. And I was going to get upset. I said, well, no right to read my file. It was my file. But anyway, I thought I better shut up. So he opened the envelope. He said, "Here." And they said, "You've been granted a 5-year route."
Oh.
5 years route, right? Okay. They could have had 10 years or 5 years route, right? Okay. And then they said, the bloody cheek of it, they said, "You get 1 week to come to England. 1 week. Otherwise."
To go back to England.
Yeah. You got 1 week to come to England to claim your immigration. Otherwise, you'll have to restart all over again.
Oh my God. Right.
I was down to my $2,000. And the fare was $1,850. Right? The fare from Brisbane to England. So I rang Patricia. I said, "Listen, they've just given me the approval, but they've given me 7 days. I've got to get the plane to get me there within 7 days." She said, "Go for it." So I hunted 6 travel agents. They were asking anywhere from $1,700 to $2,500. Now I had no other money because I spent 30 grand. That was it. I'd been through a divorce. Huh? Anyway, I managed to get a plane for $1,750. right? So I had to go to Singapore and then Dubai and then here. Now I land on immigration, right? And I present the paperwork. 3 hours I'm in the dock. 3 hours.
Right. Wow. Mm.
They're looking at this, asking questions, and this and that. And I said to the guy eventually, I said, listen, did they give me a favorable yes or no? He said, yes. I said, well, why are you putting me through all this? Why? I said, you're treating me like if I'm some immigrant from a refugee with nothing. I've got mental assets. I've got food. I can people in this country. He looked at me. He said, oh, it's just procedure. I said, what? 3 hours? I said, oh, you need to step me in for goodness sake. My passport's there. You've got my passport. Step me in. You know. And he said, well, no, it's got to be a procedure. I'm in that dock for 3 hours. I'm sitting there, and everybody going past, sailing in. They're looking at me like if I'm being arrested, because I was like in a dock where people are being treated wrongly, right? So I thought, okay, I said I'm above that. Anyway, at the end of 3 hours, he stamps me in, right? I go to customs and I'm in for 2.5 years, right? So Petrina's there waiting for me. She said, you've been to hell and back, haven't you? I said, yep, but I'm here, you know. And she said, how dare they? 1 week, you got to be here. So I said, okay, well, you know, at least I've got $150 left.
Yes.
Again, you know, at least I've got. So we go the 2.5 year route. Anyway, they've given me, so now I've done the first lot, and I'm about to do the second lot. There's not many left now. And then after that, I can be a permanent immigrant, right?
Oh.
I've had to go through all that. So probably I would have spent all up 60 odd grand, 60, right?
Wow.
You know, and some people get here, they get given free hospital, free dental, free this, free that, because they're refugees. I'm Australian, right? I'm more British and Scottish than most people, and they treat me like that. So I tell you what, I'm not very fond of them. I'm not. But I don't blame the English themselves, right? I don't, because they're different. I mean, the neighbours will get on well. But the system, not very impressed, right? You come to Australia, you're good at what you do, they accept you, you're in, you do your work, you build your business, and you welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome with open arms. Whether you're black, brindle, blue, green,
Yeah.
you welcome you. Here, right, I've got to go to this hoop, and that hoop, and that hoop.
My God. Yes.
I thought, no. I must admit, I've met some very influential friends since then. Very.
That's great. Yeah.
They've helped me to see England in a better light, right? Because they're not from the immigration system. But
that's true.
Military, Air Force, Navy. Wrong. That's the system. That's the way they are here.
System, yeah. It's a system. It's a system. That's true.
More friends.
Right?
The moment they hear my accent, they go, "You're Australian, aren't you?" I said, "I will never lose that accent. I don't want to lose that accent."
It's a lovely accent anyway. It's a very lovely one.
You know what I said to some of them? I don't want to sound British.
Oh.
I'm not a snob. I never will be. I said, what you get with me, you're Australian, you see me, you see who I am, that's who I am.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
The final thing I'd say is that we've applied ourselves really hard in the last 5-6 years. Really. Now we're at the stage where we've got a YouTube channel.
Yes.
And we've got 651 subscribers, right?
Yeah.
Over 38,000 views in 2 years, right? We've also got a website, planetwellness.co.uk, and we've helped a lot of people get better in those 2 to 5 years, a lot, right? So now we've got people coming 4 hours from the north, 4 hours to come here to see us. Right? They come from Turkey, they come from Israel, they come from Syria, they come from Italy, they come from France to come and get trained, to get looked after from us.
Mm.
So we've attracted a very, very good people. And they've traveled from overseas to come and be treated.
Right? Yes.
So we've turned something negative
Mm-hmm.
incredibly positive. Right?
Yes.
Incredibly positive. So I would say at the moment we're building our assets again, we're building capital, because in about a year we want to go on another cruise. Right? We've earned it. We've earned another cruise. So that's what we're going to do.
Oh,
yeah.
you want to go on another cruise?
Yeah.
You know where you want to go, though?
Sorry?
Do you know where you want to go?
Where are you going to go? Probably Mediterranean.
Okay.
But we probably do Norway, France, Germany, probably Sweden. Italy, definitely. Venice. Right? We've got nice places we can go to, but you can choose in the Mediterranean now. There's so many cruise ships you can enjoy. And I'll tell you what, life on a good cruise ship, a good one, is for 10 days you're just totally relaxed. All right. It's once you're on board, that's it. You don't have to worry about your food. You can go to the gym. You can go dancing at night. You got shows. You go to the swimming pool. You talk to other passengers. You make a lot of friends, right? So, and it's a really good. A proper cruise is a really good place to relax and recharge your batteries for another 3 to 5 years, right? Whereas if you stay in the same spot but you don't relax for 4 or 5 days in a row, you can get tired quite quickly.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
When you can recharge every battery you've got in you, everything, and you meet some interesting people.
That's
right?
true.
And you can be friends for the rest of your life, and then you can invite them, invite you over. So I've met French people, I met English people, I met Swedish people on cruises. You know, we met Americans, Black Americans. We had a big laugh with them. They were like really gorgeous kids, you know, they were like in their 30s, right? And we were talking at lunchtime, and we were having a laugh at the table. People said, "What are we laughing about?" And they were, "Good day, man. How are you from Australia, man?" It was phenomenal, you know. And you have friends with these people, you know. That's the way it goes, you know.
Yes.
But anyway, I hope I've given you as much as I can.
You have given us as much as you can, and you've really inspired us with your story, to be honest. How you started up, you know, from 17 when you had nothing up till now that you've built your own business. So yes, you've really, really inspired us.
Exactly.
Yeah. So can you give us inspirational advice, please?
Yes. Good question. That's a very good question. I'll give you a summary of it. I've read over 6,000 books in my life. Over 6,000. I've been reading. My mum's a school teacher. My godmother was a sister. They were very encouraging. They got me to read at the age of 3. Really read. And so I fell in love with books, because I figured out that books is a wisdom of people. That's how you write a book. You got to write a book. You got to be wise, right? People who write books are wise. So I ended up reading 6,000 books in about 7 years. 6,000, right? In the library next door, we got 3,000 right here. 3,000. That's the ones I kept. Now, here's the interesting bit. Out of 6,000 books, I've picked 50. They're the very best books I've got. I'm going to give you a fantastic multi-million-pound tip. Read books, but I'm going to give you the books to read, okay? So out of 6,000, I distilled 50 of the very best, the best authors in the world, the best motivators, the best technology. I learned all that from books, right? So there's 5 books I would recommend. One is by Dr. Dennis Waitley, right? He wrote a book. Dr. Dennis Waitley is the foremost motivational speaker in the world. He sold 20 million CDs on motivation, 20 million. He has advised 7 presidents in America. He's a Blue Angel aircraft carrier pilot. He's a man's man, right? And he wrote a book called The Psychology of Winning, right? That's one book you buy. The Psychology of Winning by Dr. Dennis Waitley, Waitley. That sits first and foremost in my bookshelf. The Psychology of Winning. He wrote another one called Empires of the Mind. He wrote another one called The Dragon versus the Eagle. That's China and America. But definitely Psychology of Winning. That's Dr. Dennis Waitley. The other book called The Magic of Thinking Big. Right? The Magic of Thinking Big. Just type it up, you'll see it. So, and then the other one is by Chin Ning Chu, which is passed on. She wrote a book called The Secrets of the Rainmaker. Right? And she explains that your mind is what attracts income. Your mind attracts abundance. She was a leading consultant for the American companies to deal in China, the leading consultant. She wrote that book, The Secrets of the Rainmaker, by Chin Ning Chu. She's passed on, but her book is in my mind. I got the book, right? Yeah. So that's Magic of Winning, the Magic of Thinking Big, Psychology of Winning, The Secrets of the Rainmaker. The other one, the fourth one, is the Bible, the King James Bible, right? Now, there's several scriptures that are really telling. There's 2 scriptures from the King James which stay in my mind. One is that without vision, a nation will perish. Get that? Without vision, a nation will perish. Now, without vision, a businessman will perish. Right? Without vision, you will perish. Right? You have to have vision. So that's one of the key scriptures. The next scripture that's good, it says, give the good message to the village. Remember, it was written 2,000 years ago, was dust on the road, right? And sandals. Give the good message to the village. If they don't listen to you, in other words, your wisdom, shake the dust off your sandals and walk away. In other words, don't give your wisdom to people that don't want to listen to you. Soon they listen, you talk. If you don't, walk away. They don't, walk away. And that has saved me massive heartache. Because if you keep pushing people that don't want to listen to you, they're gonna turn on you eventually. You want to listen to people, you want to talk to people that are going to listen to you and act on your saying, on your wisdom. Right? So that's a very telling scripture. There's another book that comes to mind. It's called the Prosperity Bible. Right? It's not a Bible, it's called the Prosperity Bible. Right? So that's a good book as well. The Prosperity Bible. And there's one last one, and I'm trying to think of the name. It's on my shelf. Yes, it's a book about how you save money and how you make money, make income, right? And that is I'm trying to think of the name. It's called The Secrets of the Rich Man in Babylon. Right? It's either that or no. It's the actual title is The Richest Man in Babylon. That's the title. So don't type in The Richest Man in Babylon. And that book is about compounding interest. All right, that's the 8th wonder of the world. When you put your money and you compound your money a certain way, using the rule of 72, you'll become a millionaire in very short time. All right, but you have to do it that way. So people say that there's no problem with intent. That people got your own money, your own assets, because you built it, it's yours. So that would be the book I would so recommend, The Richest Man in Babylon. Okay, so that would be at least 6 books there. So you should start. The first one you should start is the Psychology of Winning. That's a good one, because that one is about the mind, how the mind, and he writes some amazing words about how you make your mind work. And remember, this guy is achieved and achieved and achieved. Right? You don't become a Blue Angel pilot in the U.S. Navy by being stupid. You don't. You're motivated. You know what you're doing, and you're prepared to fight like for your country. Right? And he was there they reckon when you land on an aircraft carrier, it's like landing your plane on a postage stamp. You have to be very highly skilled to land and not crash the plane. He was one of those. And this is before the new jets came in with the technology that they can land. They know where they are. Okay, so that's where it's at. So I hope it's been a successful thing for you, and I hope you've learned a lot.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us today on Mission to Inspire. We've learned a lot from all your tips, your journey from when you were young up till now. And we really appreciate you sharing all your success story, the hurdles that you had to scale through.
Yes, exactly.
Along the way. As long as sharing the advice that you just shared, the books that you recommended, that will help us along the way. Thank you so much for joining us today.
I'd leave you on one note. I just had a thought. You see on my skin, can you see my skin? All right. I'm not bragging. I'm 76 next month. People think I'm 55. People think I'm 55 because of my skin. I would like another day, I would like to do another session for women and men and kids, how to get fantastic skin well into old age.
Right. Okay.
Without paying a lot of money. Without. My tips are so on point. You're going to have amazing skin, right, for years, till very late in your life. You're going to have amazing. It's the way you do it. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, very interesting.
All right, I've got to get ready for the next one now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And until next time, it's a goodbye. Thank you.
Thanks, Shona. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. Take care.
Thank you for joining us today on Mission to Inspire. Subscribe if you have not already done so. Like, comment, leave a message. Let's stay connected. Let's jointly inspire the world.